Firstly, it refers to those that have publicly done wrong and they are known that they've been charged by the courts. And I think the public is more concerned about the speed at which we deal with such individuals who to a large extent have dealt with the image of the ANC. So the ANC we need to step up our game, act decisively against those that do wrong by stealing state resources.
If Moerane, who is currently hospitalized due to a car accident, takes the top spot, he says he will ensure that the ANC moves from the opposition benches to take control of the city yet again. Meanwhile, the regional task team says the hospitalization of Moerane will not prevent his bid from contesting.
One of the things why branches nominated him in such large numbers is the issue of the vibrancy and the quality that he's bringing to the table. I think in Joburg we now win the opposition, and I think we need vibrancy, we need new energy, and I think we need new people at the helm to make sure that we regain the space that the ANC is losing at this current moment. But I think with him at the helm, we'll make sure that we bring back Josie and we bring back the vibrancy that Joburg is known for.
Meanwhile, the Ekurhuleni conference, which will be fiercely contested, has also been moved to next weekend. Former Mayor and Chair Mzwandile Masina will be battling it out with former Treasurer Dr. Mkosindipile Xhakaza. Whilst Tshwane is looking to hold theirs on the last week of this month. Former Chair Kgoshi Mayepa is likely to face off with former Regional Secretary Eugene Modise. Meanwhile, the RTT and CDBang expects the conference to sit from the 20th to the 22nd of May. Former Regional Chair Thulani Kunene, who also has ambitions for becoming the Provincial Secretary, will be up against Advocate Betlane, who once served as a Regional Secretary in the region. Lastly, the West Rand has not yet set a date, but former Youth League Chair in the region, William Majeke, will go up against Philip Mdidise, a former NEC member of the Youth League in the region and a member of Parliament for the top position. The outcomes of these regional conferences are likely to determine who will be the next ANC provincial chairperson between Panyaza Lesufi and Lebogang Maile. Natasha Piri, SABC News, Johannesburg.
The ANC in Johannesburg, meanwhile, was due to hold a meeting today. One of the issues expected to be discussed before the elective conference takes place is, of course, the hospitalization of the former Mayor Mpho Moerane, who is the ANC caucus leader in the city of Joburg. We're now joined by ANC Johannesburg spokesperson Sasabona Manganye. Mr. Manganye, thank you for being with us. Did the meeting happen considering there is no elective conference this weekend, according to Gauteng?
Good evening and to yourself and to the viewers of SABC. Yes, today the regional leadership have met to consider the report from the Conference Preparatory Committee and also from the Regional Dispute Resolution Committee. The Conference Preparatory Committee managed to report the readiness of the ANC to go to conference, and based on the report we received, logistically we were ready to go to conference this Friday. However, the Regional Dispute Resolution Committee that received disputes from 43 branches, it indicated that there are branches that, in terms of the disputes, less than 10 branches that needs to be given an opportunity to rerun, meaning they must reconvene their meetings and do the work of the BBGMs as required by the ANC. But also, we also know we are also giving the branches that their dispute might have been dismissed on the basis that they are not compliant with the guidelines, an opportunity to make a determination whether they want to appeal such a decision or not. So it was in the interest of ensuring that all due processes are concluded before we can convene and commence with our regional conference.
And
of course,
when will it take place now?
We have resolved for it to take place on the 27th to the 29th of May, so the end of this month. So we're given these 2 weeks so that in the 2 weeks period, at least all outstanding issues can be resolved. to postpone it with a 1 week, you find that there are appeals and we still have to postpone again. So definitely on the 27th of May, all due processes will have been concluded.
His supporters were saying there in our insert that they hope Mpho Morane can be there. Can you give us any update on his condition?
Yes, we received, update from the family that he is recovering very well. And all the medical procedures that he went through yesterday and today, at least they went well, recover soon. However, the fact that he's not well does not necessarily disqualifies him from contesting for any position that he would have been nominated for. He can still contest even in absentia. So that does not necessarily prejudice his candidacy in the conference. If all was in order and the conference was continuing this weekend, he will still be allowed to contest. He was not going to be prejudiced.
All right, so his name will still be in the hat, as it were. Moving to something else, the ANC lost power in the local government election. Has there been a lot of introspection around that ahead of this elective conference?
Yes, look, the ANC we did not take our loss of power for granted. To us, it communicated a message that our people, the people of Johannesburg, are not happy with the African National Congress. And the people of Johannesburg demonstrated that as much as they are not happy with the ANC, they don't have an alternative. That is why they decided to stay at home and decided not to vote. So the voter turnout, you will know that it was very low, and mostly in areas where we are strong. And that message suggested that the people still want the ANC, but they want the ANC to renew itself, rebuild itself, and unite itself so that they can trust the ANC. Because a divided ANC is not trusted by society. That is why we are working very hard going to all these conferences to ensure that whatever outcomes that are produced are outcomes that are going to assist us to rally all members of the ANC behind the ANC to speak in one voice and ensure that we are able to reclaim power in the city of Johannesburg on the basis that we will have inspired confidence in our people through our conduct and the posture that we take as an organ. We are serious about uniting the African National Congress, and we know this renewal is going to translate in the economic emancipation of the people of Johannesburg. It will translate in ensuring that service delivery is delivered to the people of Johannesburg.
Mr. Manganye,
and we are going to ensure that renewal.
However, on that note, what is your response to what an analyst said to us? That looking at the provincial conferences that have already taken place, it's all about who's elected. It's all about the officials. Not much about policy. Not much about all the things that you're talking about.
The African National Congress in Johannesburg, through the base document that has been prepared with the Provincial Executive Committee, we have been going to all our branches to give them an opportunity to interact with those documents. And I can indicate that yes, there were some of the branches that did not get an opportunity to do so. We are happy that this postponement, in fact, is a good opportunity to can further, and that is the spirit of today's meeting by the regional leadership, that we need to take an advantage of this postponement and ensure that we intensify the discussions and we empower the discussion documents that we have issued and ensure that key resolutions are proposed to the conference, so that when we get to the conference, we are not clouded by leadership contest, but we also focus on policy issues and what is it that we want to do when we reclaim this power in the city of Johannesburg. You know, what kind So those kind of discussions are currently happening in our different branches, and as the regional leadership, we have today committed ourselves to intensify that process so that our conference is not defined by the contestations.
All right. Thank you so much for your time, and we'll follow this process. These regional conferences then going to feed into the very important Gauteng elective conference. That was Sasabona Manganye, ANC Johannesburg spokesperson.